Michael Bublé, welcome to Dublin again.
Thank you for having me again.
And thank you for having us. I believe you're not talking to many people, just your fans and us, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like a gerbil in a cage. I run around the thing, and sometimes if I'm good, they feed me pellets, and I get to drink water from those little sucky straws.
Tori was saying to us that you're going to have 5 minutes on your own later on this evening.
Yeah.
Is it that bad when you're on tour that you get very little time on your own?
No, I like. The truth is, I'm surrounded by my family and friends, and and then when I'm out there, I'm in bliss. I mean, I really love it. I mean, I really do. I try to always. It sounds all new agey and everything, but I try to live in the moment and really, thank God for how lucky I am to be connected with all these beautiful souls that love music, and we laugh together and we dance together and we sweat together, and
you swear together as well.
We swear together as well, as a matter of fact.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Great reviews of last night's show, and you're on again tonight, and then tomorrow night, which is tonight. But you've Wednesday night off. You've Wednesday night off.
Yeah.
Have you any plans, or will you just go to your hotel room and
Actually, you know what? On that Wednesday night off, I've got to go and do press for Australia, because I guess I'm going to be so I've got to go and do, because of course they're
Yes.
I'm not sure what they're 18 hours ahead
of us. Yeah.
So I've got to go and do a bunch of TV and interviews, and then I'm going to go see a movie. I've booked the promoter is a very nice man who's booked a.
What are you going to see?
I think I'm going to see The Internship. I love movies. I really do. I love film, and I'll see anything. And so on a day off, that's usually what I do, because sadly I have to be sober, because you can't. I've learned now at 37 years old. I used to be able to party, and I mean, I was great. Life was great, but now I can't get over it, and I can't sing these songs the way they need to be sung. So I think it's kind of disrespectful to the audience, and I guess to myself if I'm not disciplined. So it's tough though, because I used to love coming on tour, because it was
because part of your rider was a bottle of whiskey, wasn't it?
Yeah,
in your dressing room. Yeah.
And the problem wasn't the whiskey. The problem was that once I have a few drinks, I love to have a cigarette, and I know that's not politically correct, but I'm just honest, and I do. I love it, and it just destroys your voice. It is the worst thing for your voice.
How do you manage your voice? Because last week
by not drinking, by going to see movies on my days off, and you know what I do is I come. Well, actually, Tori's part of this. Tori and I have a security man named Jose Escalana, and after every show, we go to my room and we have a whole bunch of movies on kind of what do you call it, like on a hard drive, and we order popcorn and sit and watch a movie.
Don't talk, just
I don't talk, sit and watch a movie, and then I call my wife and we fall asleep together on.
Oh, what a guy! How romantic is that?
Well, she's seriously pregnant right now, so she scares me.
So it's a matter of weeks now.
Are you kidding me? She scares me. She's tough right now. She was tough before, but now that she's oh no, there's no.
But she's hormonal,
she
is she?
does not suffer fools. No.
So what's the plan? Because when her waters break, when she goes into labour, have you got the bag ready and the route to the?
I do actually. I put all that stuff together. My plan is to pray and pray and know that all these horrible things she's probably going to say to me, she only half means.
Right. Okay.
But no, I mean, I'm.
Do you intend to be there at the birth?
I will. If I'm not, then I intend to find a new wife, because there'll be a divorce happening. Oh no, she'd kill me. She would just absolutely. As a matter of fact, even now, I mean, that's why I'm with her. I'm checking in all the time to make sure. You know what I mean? That. Well, because obviously if it happens, I'd have to go. Just like, I was reading about Robbie this morning, because he had the same thing, Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
And, it's going to happen when it happens, and I'm sure it'll all work itself out fine. But, yeah.
You're duetting with Robbie Williams.
I wasn't supposed to say that, I think.
Well, how did I know it?
No, because I wasn't supposed to say it. Because I'm an idiot. And I didn't know. I was really proud, because the truth is, it's a great, great song, and... It's a lot of fun.
Is it an original, or is it?
It's an original,
okay.
And I love Robbie, and him and I get along good, and so I was just so pumped about it. I was really pumped, and I guess I read an interview where someone had asked him, and he said, "Well, he wasn't supposed to say anything," and I just felt like dirt. I called Robbie. I said, "Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, man." I said I was just really proud, and he was very sweet about it, but.
How do you choose who you duet with? And I know there's a Canadian aspect to it, because Ron Sexsmith and Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
But then there's Reese Witherspoon on the latest album.
Not Canadian.
Not Canadian. Yes, I checked her. Checked that.
No. For me, truly, it's a really. it's really important for me to choose the right people, and honestly, it's just a fluke that they turned out. Because one of the people I duetted with was a Brazilian man named Ivan Lins. I've done duets with Nelly Furtado. I've had a duet with Boys to Men. So I mean,
Nelly Furtado, Canadian,
yeah. But again, just a fluke, because it was that song. We'd done Quando, and so I wanted someone who could sing it in Portuguese, and so I knew she spoke Portuguese, so. I wanted her, and the truth is, I had told the producer that if I couldn't get her, I wasn't going to do it. And it was the same with Reese for Something Stupid. I had it in my brain that her and I would sound great sonically together. I'd watched the Walk the Line movie, and I thought,
brilliant movie.
Her portrayal of June Carter was pretty amazing, and she could sing the heck out of it. And so it was her or scrap the song, and so that's kind of how I go about it. Same as Boys to Men when I did that. Same as the Yvonne Lins, and.
Yeah,
it's just kind of.
I saw you doing with your support band, and they're also on stage with you, Naturally Seven,
yeah.
And they feature on the album. And you did that brilliant song, "Who's Loving Who?" Or you?
Who's loving me?
You?
Who? When?
I'm thinking of "Who's Zooming Who" by Aretha Franklin. Remember that song? No, you're too young. You're too young.
No. But I always mess up words anyway. Actually, is it Aretha Franklin who's saying "You make me feel like a natural woman"?
Yeah.
You know what? I swear to God, it was like 2 years ago that I finally realized that she hadn't said. I thought it was "You make me feel like an African woman," but it so obviously isn't. But I don't know why I thought that. It just made perfect sense to me.
Yeah. Like a friend of mine used to sing that song. I've been through the desert on a horse with no legs. He used to think it was a horse with no legs. And there's lists of those. We did it last week on the show. Just people mishear things.
I just had Peter Kay come with me to the show a couple of days ago, and we went on the boat together, and he was going through a list of all these songs he thought were, man, that makes me laugh.
How do you get friendly with a guy like? How did you meet Peter Kay? Did you meet him on a chat show or?
No. He really early on, about 8 years ago, he started coming to the shows, and he'd come with his nan, and I'd look up. Actually, the first show I remember, I was backstage, and I have a promoter named Carl Leighton Pope, and he said to me, Mike, there's a really famous comedian in the audience tonight, and it would be really nice if you gave him a shout out. And I was offended. I said to Carl, I don't do shout outs. You know what I mean? This is not birthday at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm doing a show. And he said, he really is well loved. And I said, fine, So I started off the show, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, apparently I'm not even going to try to be funny tonight, because I have a very fancy comedian, Mr. Peter Kay is here. Peter, welcome to the show. And Peter stood up, and no lie, they stood for close to 4 minutes. I mean, literally,
he's a national treasure in the UK.
They went absolutely crazy. Jackets came off, and people were waving their jackets, and then just and it wasn't a very quick growth of a relationship. It was us just kind of once in a while meeting each other, and then more and more talking and realizing we had a lot in common, families and morals and all of that stuff, and he's just a lovely guy.
Has he given you advice on fatherhood?
A lot, actually. He just texted me yesterday, and because of course I'm worried. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, does any father or mother know what they're doing? And he just texts me and says, "Hey kid, you're going to be a good dad, and you got good family there, and all of that." And
you could have been a comedian yourself if the singing didn't work out.
Yeah,
because you're a very funny guy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
And
I much rather would have been a porn star, but it turns out
have you got the wherewithal?
No. But I always thought a great nickname would have been Tiny Bubbles,
Oh yeah, Tiny Bubbles. Well,
they say they call bald guys curly.
I don't have to do this
short guys too tall.
Oh right, in America, in America, it's your mother's maiden name and your first pet's name.
Yeah, I know.
That's your porn star name.
Yeah, my porn star name was Budgie Cardinal. Hey, it's me, Budgie Cardinal. My pants are so restrictive. I have your pizza.
So
sorry,
tonight
I had to add that disco part there.
10 nights in the O2 in
10
London.
Nights at the O2.
Over 150,000 people, nearly 180,000 people, and 5 nights here.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, if my wife, if we hadn't got knocked up, I don't think I would have. He's laughing at me, but truly, I think I probably would have done 20 nights there and 10 nights here, because I knew that we could.
Yeah.
And for me, that would have been just a blast. I mean, I loved it. I loved having a residency.
This is a record-breaking.
For me to say,
this is a record-breaking residency. You know that. I think Peter Kay has been here a lot, but not in the same week.
And by the way, this room. I mean, the O2 in London is great. It's a great arena, but this place is special.
You're just saying that.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it because, the way it's built like a theater. So people are kind of high up, and you're so close to them that it takes me back to playing theater. There's close to 10,000 people here tonight, but it feels like I'm playing a 3,000. It really is a different vibe. The O2 is, again, like I said, the O2 in London is a prestigious gig, great gig. I had a beautiful time there, but it's an arena. This place is an arena that feels like you're playing a theater, and even for sound,
so
it's better.
intimate. It's intimate.
It's intimate, and it's hot, and it's sweaty, and it's grinding, and it brings me back to those dreams of me being a porn star. Sorry,
you're going to get up.
No,
I'm looking at because I was going to tell you that you were the first artist to play in the Aviva Stadium. And you
That's
can
right.
See,
I
you
opened
can
the
see it
Aviva
from
Stadium.
here. You can see it from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could earlier on when we were standing over there, where Pamela.
Do you know that was like that was probably the, I would say top 5 career moment for me, and not intimate at all. But that was. It's funny. Pat Creed is the head of the record company here, and last night he came and sat down. He said, "Geez, you're so relaxed." And I said, "Well, I'm in my element here." And he said, "I don't know. Before the Aviva," he said, "you were really antsy." And I said, "There was 54,000 people each night there. Of course, I was antsy. It was I'd never played anything that big before."
They love you.
I love them back.
Yeah.
I truly love them back. They get, it's nice. It's really nice when people. I've said it a million times, but really nice to be loved, and when somebody gets you, and you're allowed to be yourself, and you don't have to censor yourself and worry about, if I play in America. The further away I get from the ocean, the dumber it seems to get, and
they don't get irony.
No, and I have to start being very careful about what I say and how I say it, and you know what I mean. It's very easy to be taken out of context, and here people just take the pee out of themselves,
and you do.
And so do I. I love it. I think that's why I love it so much. This is very, for people who have come. From say Dublin and traveled to Vancouver or Canada, somewhere in Canada, I think they realize very quickly it's very similar. Very similar.
Is that because we're sort of a country beside a huge country?
That's
you
took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah,
I think,
So the Americans do to you what the English sort of.
I believe that both of us are a nation of observers. I believe we have a very clear sense of who we are culturally, but because we're the mouse next to this elephant, we watch and we learn, and so we can adapt when we need to. We know what it is that makes them tick, and I think we find the best of both worlds.
But you look at like Peter Kay, mate of yours, strong Irish connection, huge Irish connection. Graham Norton.
Yeah, I hang out with Graham all the time. Yeah, love him. He just got the BAFTA, didn't he?
Did he get it BAFTA this year?
Yes, sir.
He did. He presented it to himself.
Yeah.
He was actually presenting the awards.
I love him I love that man very much, and I really do. I have a nice relationship with him, and actually Niall Horan. I just talked to him this morning.
He's
just
brilliant.
a nice kid. He's just I met him. Like I said, I met him the early when they did the X Factor, and they were just really sweet young guys, who had a dream, and they had a lot of energy, and they were nice kids. And I remember they struck me because I'd met a lot of those contestants and stuff, but they struck me as having really nice. They were just nice kids, nice energy, and just really excited about life, and like not afraid to be themselves. And through time, just I guess I saw them a couple times. You travel so much, you saw them at airports and stuff, and start to talk with them and hang with them, and him and Liam. And I was just so happy to see that in a day and age where you see these kids become stars and they just become punks. And I'm not gonna name names. I don't have to, because you already know all the people I'm thinking of. But the people that really, I think, listen, when you're famous, you don't owe anyone anything. But I think somewhere inside you have to remember that you are responsible. There are things you have to be responsible for, that there are kids that look up to you, and whether you like it or not, it's the truth. And so, I think it's great that some famous kid goes home and smokes a blunt. That's fine if he wants to do that. But do you need to post it on Instagram and show it off to everybody and try to tell kids that that's a cool thing to do? No, I don't think so.
Do you know, we were talking last week because we had some fine weather here, which is unusual. Temperatures are nearly 30 degrees.
Swimming.
Yeah, what?
I saw people swimming.
And Summertime, the song came up, Summertime, and I thought Michael Bublé must do a version of Summertime. But I've tried to find one. Have you ever done a version of Summertime?
You're talking about Summertime and the living. is easy. I just did it just now.
Fish are jumping.
Fish are jumping.
And the cotton is high.
And the cotton is high. Then where does it go?
My daddy's rich. Daddy's rich. And your mum is good looking, yeah.
I don't know. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Your daddy's rich, and your mom is good looking. So hush, little baby.
I think it's
don't you say a word.
Was it a slave?
That sounds
creepy.
Was
it a slave song and a musical?
Yes, it's a slave
song and a musical. There you go. There's from.
And that's the reason I'm probably not going to sing it.
Right.
That or Old Man River.
You're not going to sing that either.
Although I sing it in the shower all the time.
Do you?
I do, because I like the part on Old Man River because I get in the shower, you sound so good and deep, and it gets to that part where it says, you and me, we sweat and sway, bodies ache and interact with pain. Tote that barge, fetch that pail, get a little drunk, and you land in jail. In the shower, that sounds great.
That deserves a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you.
Now, we said we were coming out
to no more testicles.
We said we were coming out to talk to you, and just a couple of quick things. So, will you just say hello to Sarah Byrne, who got sick and couldn't make it to the
I'm sorry, Sarah. You know what, Sarah, that sucks. She had a ticket and she couldn't make it?
That's it.
All right, you know what I'm going to do? Before I leave you, I'm going to go and get some swag, and I'm going to sign it for Sarah, and then if she has a chance, she can call the station, and you guys can pick it up.
Very kind of you, Mr. Bublé. Very kind
My
of you.
pleasure.
Orla Clark, she's only 11, and she spent 3 weeks making a collage of your head from Bits of Magazine.
No way.
Yeah, and she won a special merit award for doing so.
Congratulations, kid. I wish I was
Orla
a fan
Clark.
of children, but I just don't like them.
Which is pretty tough. But what's coming down the track?
Especially those kids' charities. Damn them. That's so sweet. Do I get to see it? Is there a collage?
No,
I can see it?
no.
That would
They
have
just
been
came
so
in
cool.
today. They just came in today. And there's going to be a hen night there on Friday night. Siobhan Grace's hen night. So just say hello to Siobhan there.
Siobhan,
if you would.
congratulations. You're very lucky. He seems like a great guy.
You didn't even mention his name. What's his name? Colin.
Colin.
And finally, a question from last night. People want to know, this is a very odd question.
Sure.
Why is there a wire hanging out of your mic? Why don't you use a cordless microphone? Because most people now use a cordless microphone.
Because the honest to God truth is that wire mics actually sound better. They have a thicker, stronger sound. And the cordless mic, I use it at the end, and it's close, but it's not. The quality isn't as good.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of the people use wireless mics because they're dancing and like most of the show's dancing and they're probably lip syncing half the time anyway. So for me, it's the cord mic is nice too.
Okay. What do you want to say to people who couldn't get tickets or couldn't afford to get tickets, or your fans out there who won't see you in your 5 nights in the O2?
Well, I'll tell you
fans?
that I'll be back. I'll be back, and on this tour, I'll be back. And just thank you for your support. You know, you changed my life and changed my family's life, and I've, I never had support in any country in the world like I've had here. And so,
do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
I'm grateful for it.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Have you picked out a name?
I got a picture of him actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
We had a guy in today. You should get this done. It's amazing, right? He's an Irish guy. He's developed a 3D printer, but it's made from paper, right? And he can take the scan and make it a 3D thing. He brought one in with him, and then
I have the 3D scan here.
Oh yeah, so he can take that, right, and make it into an actual bust. So you would have a bust of your unborn baby.
That is.
It was special. I got emotional just holding it in my hand.
Yeah, that is amazing. So you tell me. I think he looks like a person. Some people say he looks like an alien, but I think he looks pretty much like a person.
Is that his hand or is? Sorry, sorry.
So no, it's his little
thank
face.
You I can't believe you showed me a scan of your unborn child. That's amazing. Thank you
I
very
made
much.
that.
What?
I made that.
Yeah, you made that. Yeah.
Well, 50% of it anyway.
So names? Is there no?
Most important 31 seconds of my life. Man. Are there names? Yes, there are names.
Because I know, because you said
I have lost the battle.
Have you? Yes.
I wanted a certain name, and I wanted a bunch of different names, but we've got the name, and it's the one that she chose. I figure if she's going to do most of the heavy lifting, that she'd get the choice. But the names I liked, I wanted to go for manly names, like Thor or Magnus. That's what I call each of my biceps. This one's the left one's Thor, and this one's Magnus.
It has to go with Bublé, of course, doesn't it? Is it?
And what goes with Bublé? Not a lot. Not a lot goes with Bublé. I liked, the name I really liked was I liked Vaughn.
Vaughn.
I liked Vaughn, but she didn't go for it. I
Von
thought it was
Bublé.
Von Bublé.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
But is Von the German word for son? Something Von. What? Count. Is it? Von, is it? Von.
A count would have been another. Count Bublé. Oh, I love to count.
So you have a name, and
I have a name.
It's a month now, and you're going to be there for it because you're stopped touring at the.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's funny, too, with names. It's like for me, I have a hard time with names because I don't know what it is, but someone tells me their name and boom, it's gone. I forget. And it's not that I forget the person or that I don't care about the person, but I have kind of like a fear of it. That's why I love coming here. Because if I say Pat, I'm 50% of the time I'm right. Hey Pat. Usually it's pretty spot on.
Yeah, but I suppose the majority of the audience tonight and for the rest of the week will be ladies.
No.
Good for you guys.
No, lots of guys. Yeah.
I'm going to be there on Friday night.
Actually, I just walked out of the hotel and it was a bunch of 15-year-old little sweet little dorky guys, little kids waiting.
Great. Well, listen, thanks again for talking to us. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Dublin. You might run into Bruce Springsteen. He's hanging around for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, I met him.
Have you ever met him?
Yes, I have, yeah.
That'd be
very
an
nice
interesting
man. I actually enjoyed his company. I enjoyed his wife because she was a very nice woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great one, isn't he? There's an icon right there.
Michael Bublé, thank you very much.
Hey, it was my great pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks to all the Pats out there.
And Patricia's.
And the Patricias.